It's time for Cup of Red, so let's fill your cup with rad pop culture vibes. And now your over-caffeinated hosts, Mike and Katie. Welcome everyone to Cup of Red. We want to thank every one of you for being our listeners in our first month of our adventures in our fandoms. So whatever platform you're listening to us on, be it Libsyn, iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify, thank you for listening. It's been fun connecting with you all on Cup of Red on the Facebook page and on the Cup of Red Cafe, the group where we have had the pleasure to nerd out with you all. We also have our Instagram page where we show our photos and of our collection and other cool things we found, and it's been fun talking to you on there as well. And then that shameless plug for Twitter, where we really retweet a lot of nerd news and comic artists.
So we started this in October, and October was busy, like insanely busy. Between family events, my day job, Fan Expo, Halloween preparations, it was a bit of a struggle to keep up, but we were excited to be doing what we were doing. But we're finding our groove and looking forward to November, because with all the awesome new movies, looks like it could be insanely busy too.
Yeah, I think we have a movie each weekend almost.
Yeah, we have, what's the upcoming up? We have The Grinch, we have Crimes of Grindelwald, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Super excited for all of them.
Also, I'm looking forward to Overlord. That kind of looks really friggin' nuts.
Right? So, it does look pretty crazy.
By the way, every episode is filmed in front of a live cat audience. There's usually two of them running around, especially when we've decided to record versus sleeping the rest of the time.
They were totally asleep until we started this, and then it's like, oh no, now is the time to run around like mad.
Right, so
anyways,
having our cups of red today.
Yes, we have wonderful logo coffee cups now, which is really fantastic. Cool. We literally have cups of red.
Exactly, they're filled with tea tonight.
Yes, some wonderful cinnamon tea of some sort. I think. Yeah, right. So it's pretty awesome.
So we put a poll out on our Facebook and Instagram, and it was which side of Cup of Red you want to get to know a little bit more of, and well, Katie won.
Apparently,
or did she win?
Did I win?
Because now she's in the hot seat. How hot is your seat right now?
Right? I don't like this.
Can you feel it? You know, people want to know about you.
I don't like sharing.
I think I've been a little bit too much of like a social media whore over the years.
That is very true.
So people know my fandoms and like, whatever that guy. Instead, you're the mystery. You're the mystery machine. The mystery.
I need to keep it a mystery.
Well, no.
No, people want to know.
Yeah, people want to know. You won by a landslide. Wow. I wasn't even a trickle in the bucket.
Everyone's like, oh,
I think there was one person that voted for me. So I'm going to take a cue from Michael Rosenbaum, and I'm going to get inside you right here.
Oh.
Right now.
This is going to be interesting.
I'm getting inside you tonight.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yep. Awkward.
That's not going to be awkward. It's
going
to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're going to dim these lights. We're going to get right to those hard questions. Find out how deep we can go when we're inside of you.
Oh, you're having fun with this one.
So what's your ultimate fandom?
I don't like this question.
That's the episode.
And we're done. It's cut. It's a wrap. See? Mystery. I have to just say that. I don't like the term ultimate fandom. I don't even think I could offer an ultimate fandom to you. I have a few key fandoms based on collection, which we will not speak of. We will save for a later moment. Or other people who are listening could be like, I know that answer too. Social media whore. But
hey, I like to have it out there. I'm a little brazen.
I know, right? I need to get more confidence with that. No, ultimate fandom, that scares me. I do have a select few I can choose from.
Well, let's go with 5 right now.
Okay, so 5 in no particular order, because again, ranking is not my favorite thing. As you can maybe guess by now, though, I'm not a fan of making like lists of things or like decisions and like choosing one is better than the other.
So we're gonna have to make a whole episode just of lists. The list episode.
Well, when you start ranking your movies, I panic. It's a weird, I don't know how I would describe it, just a weird anxiety of mine, listing things and rating
and you
things.
Pass that on to our son too.
I know, our son is blessed with that wonderful thing. But anyways, in no particular order, top 5 fandoms based on my enjoyment and collections. It's going to be Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Disney princesses, Ariel is my favorite, but I've added a few more now over the years. Wizarding World and My Little Pony.
Okay. So, well, we're going to be touching on the Wizarding Worlds in a couple episodes, especially with Crimes of Grindelwald coming out.
Yes, definitely.
So we'll have our wands ready for that episode after the movie comes out, and maybe we'll talk a bit more about that then. So we'll save that. So we got 4 to dissect tonight. 4 to just find out how deeply they are rooted inside of you.
You just wait until you use that every single chance you can.
That's what they want. The listeners wanted to know how we could get inside of Katie tonight. They wanted to feel real emotion and depth. We're changing this month. We're changing our podcast. We're not going to be so flauncy as we were last month. We're going to stick with a more serious tone. It's personal this time because you can only get personal when I'm inside of you.
We have no language in this, and yet it's gonna be marked explicit for suggestive.
Yeah, I could start some sailor talk now if you want, just to make sure that explicit.
Fuck. I sealed the deal on that one.
There you go. It got the explicit label. Boom.
Slap that one right on there. So, anyways, focus.
Because we're going to be getting inside you with each of these fandoms. We're going to delve deep into the fabric of each of them.
Okay, let's get to it. Pick one other than Wizarding World.
Let's go with random. Well, you know what? Let's start with Disney princesses because that's probably your oldest.
It is my oldest because it would have been something from when I was a little girl.
Yeah. So let's get the creepy one out.
Sure.
Because we're getting inside the mind of a little girl right now.
That's not.
I can't say I'm getting inside of the little girl, but I can say
in the mind.
No, I can't do that.
No,
I'm out already.
We're done.
I'm out. I'm done.
Disney princesses.
Disney princess.
So as I said earlier, Little Mermaid is going to be my all-time favorite Disney princess.
Why? Wait, you used ultimate.
I said all time. Didn't say ultimate. All time? Maybe ultimate. Okay, well, that's within the Disney princesses. So, yes, I have therefore now ranked Ariel as number 1 Disney princess. Honestly, number 1 is going to relate to the time frame for it. It's as old as I am.
Back in 1989. Yeah. Okay, Little Mermaid.
Let's not. I'm older than it, but we're going to pretend.
Well, you couldn't have seen it too much earlier and remembered it.
But it would have been the newest Disney princess for when I was a little girl.
Merchandise flying at you everywhere.
Right. But it's likely the newest one, but every little girl, even nowadays, is obsessed with mermaids. It just fell right into my lap there. And I had a lot of different merchandise. I loved the songs. My mom used to know some of the songs, but I remember having cassette tapes of it. I knew all the words.
Aging her right there. The dirty cassette.
I told you I'm older than the movie, so. Oh, yes, I had the soundtrack on my cassette tape there, and one of the rare Disney movies I actually owned and did not just record on TV.
There you go. On VHS.
Oh, yeah, because so many of my other Disney movies, like I remember Alice in Wonderland was taped over on an old VHS off of cable.
Yeah.
And it was don't record on this one with a giant masking tape on it, because it's it is my only copy of Alice in Wonderland.
You just have to click out that little tab.
Dead airspace, because I'm looking at him I didn't know that. Dating Mike.
Oh.
So yeah, that was number 1. Ironically, it's pretty funny. The older I got, I realized how much I really related to her, even as I got older. So the concept, I know it's not a new one with the Disney princesses, but the concept of, having the grass is greener on the other side aspect, and not necessarily something was bad at home, but just being interested in different things, wanting to irrationally run away because you love someone.
Oh, you love me?
I know. And then having it all work out after, turmoil and insanity, of course. I like the simplicity of it. Again, I love the music was great, simple story. Other than that, I had awesome bed sheets too.
There you go.
Awesome. They were just, it was white with there was pastel versions of them. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I remember seeing Little Mermaid.
I love the adventures of it. So
in theaters, I loved it. The music was fantastic.
Yeah,
and it was I
love the dreamy aspect of it. Because nothing was wrong with her life.
No.
Too opposed to say Cinderella, where you felt really bad for her. Wow, you have just got a shit hand. And with Ariel, nothing was wrong with her. She just was interested in something something different and being curious and wanted to think outside the box of the little bubble that she had grown up in. And but yeah, I mean, then from there on, just always wanted to be a mermaid. There was a giant lake where I grew up, and we used to go up there when I would go up with like my day camp. They would take us up to the beach, and there was a rock there that was deemed my Little Mermaid rock, because it was perfectly settled to, you could go up there. I would swim out there and I would sit there and I would have the water splash up, not nearly as fantastic as of course in the movie, but I would pretend to be Ariel out there, and I would do that for as long as I could, and I just thought it was the greatest thing ever.
So, deep question.
Oh no.
What is your whole thoughts on the controversy that Keira Knightley has banned Little Mermaid from her house?
You had to bring this out? What the fuck?
Hey, it's all about getting deep inside of you.
I think it is ridiculous.
But she says that it's the idea that the woman loses her voice for a man.
She doesn't lose her voice for a man. She loses it because a woman manipulates her into thinking she has to use her body to be able to sell herself.
Mic dropped.
I am all for girl power, women power, teaching your daughters and women in the world that they have a voice and they should stand up for what they believe in. But I do not for a second believe that it is only men who take that away from women. Women do it to each other all the time. I think in other more subtle ways, I think we can be horrible to each other. And if you can't admit that and understand it, then you're going to have a hard time really truly finding freedom and finding your own voice. You have to understand that it doesn't matter male or female, anyone can actually sabotage you. And if you don't stand up for yourself and teach the people that you care about to stand up for themselves, that's what's most important.
Taking responsibility for your own actions and your decisions.
Yes, it is amazing. Yeah. Sorry, she was a young girl who got swayed by someone who she thought was having the best for her. As a teenager, we think we want to be able to get something we want, and we will do stupid things to make it happen. Again, case in point, I know I made bad decisions as a teenager because I wanted something. It doesn't mean that my decision to change how I went about it or anything like that was not based on someone else. It was my choices and the people I was surrounded with, and that doesn't matter on gender whatsoever.
I told you we're getting deep.
Yeah, look at that.
We've become a serious podcast.
You brought out some actual defensive thing. It's a touchy subject for me.
Okay, so we'll move on. Well, Mermaid, she has we'll get more fluffy. And you know what? And even too, the idea of the Little Mermaid, I know it's not based in actual true mythology, but I like the fantasy aspect of things, opposed to just a fairy tale, with the idea of Atlantis and just a little bit more of that legendary myth feel. But Flounder was just ridiculously fun, and you have the extremes because Sebastian was just so hard and serious and having to follow the rules. And Ursula is awesome too. I mean, she's a cool villain. She is just the ultimate sassy, scorned woman. Yeah. Just crazy, power hungry, trying to use everything she can. And, Okay, do you have a favorite song in The Little Mermaid? Probably Part of Your World. That would make the most sense, honestly. Yeah. I like Kiss the Girl. It's a famous song, but it's not my favorite. The video sequence in the movie is hilarious and fun. I think it's adorable. I've always loved when all the creatures dive bomb the boat at the end because I think it's hilarious. But yeah, Part of Your World was really that. Okay. So for me, it was always Under the Sea. Yes. But I think most boys were like, that's the one song we can relate to. Because I don't want to be part of the man's world. I don't understand that. The sexy sailor doesn't appeal to me. If they did to you, totally fine, but 100% support you and your choice for love. There you go. So some of my Disney princesses too, I've really added Rapunzel to my list. I really was drawn to her. That one was really fun. I liked how positive and upbeat she was, even with what a horrible upbringing she had. Yeah. But again, the idea that she wanted to see what else was out there, couldn't just be the little bubble that she was in. I mean, she didn't realize how bad her life really was. Yeah. Until she realized the truth of her mom, and so I really liked
liked Rapunzel. That added to my top list. Some of the newer ones.
Well, with Rapunzel,
yes,
we had
Disney bounded as Rapunzel and Flynn.
Disney bounding costume, like a hipster.
Yeah, it was a hipster costume. It was what was based on.
Yeah.
So it was kind of inspired by costumes, right?
Colors.
And I remember that was the time we had met. We went to go meet Rapunzel like that.
Yeah,
and Flynn was there, and he recognized Mike right away, which was awesome. And so that was a fun experience with that. But yeah, I was wearing like shorts and boots and like it was the idea of what she would be like if she would, it was kind of the artsy hipster kid, right?
Yeah, it's like the high school drama version.
Yes, exactly. So that was fun. And that was a number of years ago now. One of our first times we had gone.
2013,
I think it was, yeah. So yeah, I've done that before. And
what is it about, besides the positivity about Rapunzel, that you like?
I like her creative side, her ability to do so much. It fascinates me because that's not me at all. I can't paint, I can't draw. She's a little bit of jack of all trades, and I'm impressed by that. And I also think that the scene when she does get out and she's in the forest, it makes me laugh every single time. The bipolar aspect of the, oh my God, this is the best day ever. Oh my God, I'm going to die. She's going to kill me. I have made the worst decision ever. And I think it's hilarious because it's so true. When we go through big life-changing decisions, we think it's going to be great and we have the nerve, and then it's the, oh shit, what have I done? Yeah. And then I'm okay. I'm going to be great. It's going to be, oh God, what have I done? Back and forth. And I love that scene. And Flynn was hilarious. There was so much humor in that and so much heart. I love the movie. I can watch it over and over again.
Okay. Next Disney Princess.
Disney Princess, next one. You know what? As I look at my pops, like, what do I choose from?
Well, yeah, you got all of them.
You know what? I've been drawn to Tiana, Pocahontas, and Mulan. I really enjoy Pocahontas. I have a connection to. I've always loved the movie was beautiful to me, and I love the message of the nature aspect of things, be it in any sort of history or not. It's definitely a Disney version, and I understand that, but it still has a good message of peace and wanting to listen to one another and accept one another's cultures. And then also too, it came in a time in my life when I was in band, and I remember I had I got the sheet music for my clarinet for it, and I always tried. I worked on playing Colors of the Wind, and it was a freaking hard song to play. And I would take after school lessons with my teacher to try to work on that, and that was a big thing for me to try to work on, and because I wanted to master that, because I loved that song, and I still do. It still kind of gives me an actual emotional response with it. So
one thing I want to put in there is that, like you said, whether it be historical or not, or what it is, the best thing I can always say to myself for, say, a Disney film is there like a gateway.
Exactly.
It's the idea of, here is something, and we've toned it down so we can get that rating that we're supposed to get. For these, and after that it's up to you to go find out more. Well,
you know what, when we showed our son Pocahontas, it let us kind of talk a little bit about the reality and the history, but he was too young to understand it. And he's since now learned in a different light, some more history behind it, because it's a serious thing that to learn about. But then when it comes to even just like, say, The Little Mermaid or a lot of the fairy tales and stuff, those were built or created in a time that is long gone, that we don't need that same fear, we don't have that same world and same lessons. So we don't need to have it so scary, it sounds like. So it's a different version to fit in the world that we are in now, and if you can go back and read about the original inspiration for it, all the better, but don't take it for more than it is.
It's just a fun story.
It's
made to entertain, and that's what most films are.
Don't take it for more than it needs to be, and find the things about it specifically that you can enjoy. I've always struggled with my own confidence, body image issues, like everything else that you want to say that women deal with and girls deal with. I have never felt that it was a movie's problem to deal with, or it made me feel worse about myself whatsoever. I think that's your parents' own way to talk about it, and teaching about it, exactly. And I don't think we need to blame media for it. it's different to have a blind eye to something, but find the fun, the fluff. I would, if I had a little girl, I would definitely promote the Disney princesses. I think there can be, if you think about it as an adult, they can be totally twisted, totally messed up. We can revert them. We can make, and as an adult, we can find the things that are wrong that you don't see as a child. So why put that on a child when they don't understand it? Yep. So don't put our adults' twisted version in on them. Let them enjoy it for what they are, which is powerful, confident, courageous girls who are doing, Snow White. Yeah, it was horrible of what she got dealt with, but she was compassionate towards the animals. She cared about everyone. Don't make it some other twisted love story thing.
The dwarfs, she didn't think they were gross or horrible.
She just
small.
Was accepting of them. Yeah. And why can't we find those positivity things in all of them?
Well, because you could twist anything into any twisted version to pollute or corrupt it.
Exactly.
For anything. You can do that with Star Wars. You can do that with any of the Marvel movies. If you sat there with a fine-tooth comb,
you can find something wrong because it all is a bias of how you come with it.
Exactly.
And so that's why it bothers me with the idea of, say, banning Little Mermaid is, no, you're putting your adult fears of... Not saying there's not truth to that fear. You don't ever, of course, want to promote them changing themselves or losing their voice for a man. That, of course, I don't agree with that concept at all. No. But I don't think that movie, I don't think a child would ever think that from watching that movie without an adult telling them that that's what the movie is telling them. And therefore, the adult is telling them about that, not the movie.
But that then is the parent's job to have that conversation and that dialogue with their child and teach them in that moment. Because the idea of banning something only makes something seem more appealing.
Well, yeah, not like, I don't want to get on a tangent, but we were just talking, Sabrina, we started watching and they talked about banned books, and it just was a big flurry of like, no, I need to read these books because they're banned.
Yeah, well, even
and I
Harry
understand
Potter
about it.
And things like
yes,
that, right?
exactly. We want to read the forbidden things.
Yeah, and the moment you make it seem, and then you're going to push something towards it.
And then they're going to watch it or experience it without you, and now you lost that control to have that teaching moment with them. I think that's one thing, even with our son talking, when he seems interested in something, we give him a little bit of it and we kind of test the waters, and he kind of sees, okay, well, no, I really don't care, but at least we're there and part of him starting to experience instead of him trying to watch something out.
With the horror movies, he came home and he was all like, well, everyone's watching all these horror movies. Well, maybe I should be watching some of these. And I've even put out those feelers on Facebook asking what do people think, for a 9-year-old to watch some things that I think were completely inappropriate. But so then we picked out a few that we had in our collection that we could show him, because he wasn't really wanting to watch the Universal monsters. He seemed like he wanted to see something a little more hardcore. Yeah. And I threw a couple of trailers at him, and then he was like, no, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good to wait. And I was like, okay.
And so he dropped it then, right?
So. And you know what? In maybe a year's time, he'll ask again. He'll look at something again, see something different again. Yeah. But, I gave him that choice. And by showing him the trailer, he was able to drop it. So.
Exactly. So, I said Pocahontas and then Tiana and Mulan.
Princess and the Frog, I think, was a great movie.
I love that culture. I love New Orleans, that time frame too. Again, that's one where you could take something, out of. There obviously was issues back then, or cultural problems, but if we just look at the movie in itself, it's all about her trying to overcome obstacles that she's faced, which are nothing to do with her race. They're just with her being a woman, and not of a ton of money, and trying to just use her talents, which is excellent food, and learning to see that she needs to let go a little bit of that intense hard work and have some enjoyment. You need to have that mixture of things. Between the two of them, you have to have hard work and a goal and a dream, and work towards that.
She gives nothing up in that movie.
No, and then you also then need to have that enjoyment for things and truly love it and find some lightness in life as well. But she gets what she wants. Truly. I mean, her whole little fairy tale ending with that. It's just a fun entertainment, I think, and the Shadow Man is fantastic as a villain. And then Mulan would be the other one. That's one I enjoyed it when I saw it when I was younger. It's become a little bit more of a favorite of mine as I've gotten older. I think watching it again finds a different meaning to it. Again, with the humor, I realize...
dishonoring your cow. Look at my baby all grown up, saving China and everything.
I was so happy I was able to get a Mushu tank top. And then we got the Hot Topic fashion line pants, the sweatpants, which were like soft silken butter. They were amazing. Plug there. But I like, again, with that, she stands up and doesn't say anything's going to stand in my way, any social norms. Mm-hmm. So why would that not be a wonderful message to have? Yeah. And I think, again, it's just an empowerment of things. And I like because she gets appreciated at the end of it, too. It's not... whatever, that's nice. It's the, wow, you really did step up and you did save China. So I think that makes me still all teary-eyed. I get so much more emotionally involved with it. The older I get and I watch it, and it still affects me. So
I know you went a full-on Moana when that came out.
I did, because I love The Rock.
Shirts, pops, jewelry.
Yeah, I love my necklace.
Zoom of Maui.
Let's be honest, our son wanted that. Which
you claimed for your own.
He loved Maui, but I thought it was hilarious. The songs were just super upbeat. Again, with the whole story was fun about not just being stuck on necessarily cultural norms with what should always be done and not ever questioning if it's still the best path, because everything changes about our world, and if you never look to see how it needs to be readjusted for how the world is right now, then you're never going to be able to move forward. And I think that's a big thing right now for us to learn, is we're still so stuck in how things used to be, of how they used to work. Is it still the best thing for our culture now? And trying to think, what different ways could we absolve wrongdoings in the past? Are we wrongly blaming someone? Are we, any of that nature? So, I really enjoyed that movie for sure.
Definitely a theme in a lot of the ones I see from you is the nature theme of taking care of the earth and being with that, which is interesting to see.
Yeah, I guess, you're right. And again, with the live cat audience, she has now found a paper towel tube.
Yep.
Which she has claimed and will not let go of it.
Yep.
So sorry about any background noise. It is what it is. So, but yeah, Disney princesses. Jasmine. See? That's why I just said Disney princesses. I couldn't have just said Ariel. I loved Aladdin. I always wanted, watching that, it made me want a pet tiger. I wanted to be an Arabian princess and live in a castle, and I always, as a little girl, wanted to be her for Halloween. I did have a Jasmine outfit, but I was a slightly pudgier girl, and let's be honest, was not most comfortable with it, and also very cold. But I always wanted to be Jasmine, and again, as I say, I wanted a pet tiger.
Well, that's the best thing, though, a pet tiger. Who doesn't want a pet tiger? I'd want a pet tiger. Heck, I want a pet tiger now. Anyone want to give me a pet tiger?
We have baby tigers.
Yeah, we have baby tigers.
We have a tiger and a panther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, a pet tiger would be freaking out.
Actually, no, he's a lion, not a tiger.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I always loved that. I mean, Robin Williams was the absolute best thing in the whole wide world for the genie. That is a movie I could say word for word, sing all the songs. Yeah. I know that backwards and forwards, and I always love that idea.
Do you trust me to be inside of you?
I don't know. It's making me a little nervous.
See, I told you, it's deep.
It is.
It's so gonna be such a deep, endearing podcast. You're not gonna know what you've tuned in for.
What have I gotten myself into?
But this is what you asked for.
Apparently you did. I don't know.
You said, "Hey, we want to know Katie," and that's what you're getting.
Apparently.
So you're finding out that she's a Disney princess fanatic.
Apparently, fanatic is a good term.
It is a fanatic because she has an entire shelf.
We're looking at it as reference of like
every Disney princess, and even some that aren't, and there's multiples of those princesses.
You gotta make sure we take a picture of that maybe and drop it.
3 Ariels.
I do. I have an original, like way back when, of the Little Mermaid version.
Yeah, the first Funko.
Yeah.
Pop.
So I mean, it's so tiny. It's like baby Ariel. And then I have the newest one that just came out with her splashing the rock, the movie moment, because as I explained earlier, that was a huge part of my own personal history.
She loves the rock.
I do love the rock. super double entendre there.
Yeah.
And then I have the Disney Funko box version of the treasure with.
Well, both of those are actually treasures.
They are both treasures.
One was just a Hot Topic exclusive.
Yeah, so I have the wedding dress one with Eric as well, which was awesome to be able to get Eric. And then I actually, a number of years ago, won a Ariel prototype from a Funko giveaway, which is pretty cool. It was the blue dress, the Kiss the Girl moment dress. It's, I'm not going to lie, totally ugly pop, of course, because it's a prototype. But
it was free, and we thank you very much, Funko.
But it was fantastic.
Except for the pops that fall down.
Oh, yes. Except for the ones we have to keep in boxes because they, fall on their faces. But no, it was so it was ironic that I actually won that as well. So
you got a couple Mulans. You got Warrior and Geisha.
Yes, I do.
And you have a ton of Moanas.
I was just moving my one shelf I have because with the Disney Princesses I have Moana, and then
Water Splash Moana.
Water splashing Moana, of course. And then I also have Maui, and I have Baby Moana, and I have the little Coconut Warrior guys.
Yeah.
And a bird version of Maui as well. I was just reshuffling that shelf.
And also you'll note that she did trade in and get rid of her original of some of them for the new, more dynamic.
Yes, the Cinderella and the Snow White.
Yes.
Because the Snow White, once that new one came out, it was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that one. The Belle as well.
The Belle, yeah.
That one was awesome because I do love Belle as well. Let's just be honest, I love all of them in their own ways. I love Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty, but I don't have as much of a connection. If I'm going to pick one of those, it's going to be Sleeping Beauty. That was always, out of the more classical princesses, my favorite, because again, she was very in tune with just being grateful for what she did have.
It is true. Whenever we go to Disneyland, we do go to the Fantasy Fair and visit the princesses at least once on our trips.
That is true.
And this is your choice, is it not?
It is my choice.
A grown woman visiting princesses.
Of course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make that known.
Because I will, you know what? I would love to be have all the princess costumes.
Yeah.
You know what? For as much as I love Ariel, I've always wanted to dress up as Ariel, but I want to do it right. I'm not going to be a half-assed Little Mermaid. I'm going to be like full-on mermaid.
I don't know. Half-assed mermaid might be fun.
But yeah, I want to be able to do it right with those. But yeah, definitely. You know what? It's still fun, even though I know they're just character actors, but it's still fun.
Hey, and that's cool. I just needed to say that.
Just need to remind you.
It needed to be that dramatic pause. It was like a 60 minutes moment.
It was.
That was my 60 minutes moment for this podcast. Nice. After that, it's all shit.
And we're going downhill from here.
Toilet humor now. No, but you do have a Disney princess that you love that isn't necessarily considered in the stable of Disney princesses, but she still is a Disney princess because she battles the forces of evil.
Star Butterfly is amazing.
Yeah,
and I completely forget she is a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Boom.
So Darren Nefsey's Star versus the Force of Evil.
Star Butterfly is a princess from another dimension, and if you have not heard or watched it yet, I would highly recommend it because it is hilarious.
It's going into its fourth season, coming not sure when, but soon.
It's fantastic. I'm super happy that it's seen success and that they're finally starting to have merch for it. Ironically, both me and Mike both have a Princess from Another Dimension shirt, which is fantastic.
I had to support it. I would have preferred other characters from the show or different style.
I would have loved to have a Marco or a group shirt.
Well, even just her, but maybe not the I'm a magical princess from another dimension.
But the looks that you get when you wear it are priceless.
Oh, yeah.
They're just fantastic. But yeah, that is a Disney princess. You were right. So she is the Princess of Muni.
Yeah.
So it's a TV show on XD. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, that one's fun. I laughed my ass off for that one.
Well, yeah, it's deep, right? There's an awesome underlying story. It fit right well into take the place of Gravity Falls. Mm-hmm. It has that same feel for it. So if you like Gravity Falls, you will definitely like Star vs. Force of Evil, in my opinion. So,
it started off with like 15-minute episodes or 11-minute episodes, and then it rolled into full half-hour ones.
Yeah, they were doing little shorter snippets for things, and then it got longer and more dramatic.
Longer, and then like the last season, it was like hour-long episodes.
It was like super now they're not. They're much more connected than before. They were more snippets, but it's because of where they've kind of been transported to and how things are going. More of the drama, right?
Narwhal Cupcake Storm.
Yes, the spells are fantastic.
Spider with a top hat.
Well. Because in her wand, all sorts of magical creatures exist, right? Mm-hmm. And but yeah, Mike actually we found a costume, and I went to Disneyland. We went as Star and Marco Diaz, and he made me a mini wand necklace. I still have it. Maybe we can post a picture of that or something, because it's beautiful, and I'm still I'm going to never get rid of it because it's amazing. And so I found this perfect dress for it, and it was awesome.
Nice. So. Okay, so we've really got the Disney princesses down.
Yes.
Let's just stick with maybe the bubbly and the fun.
Okay.
My Little Pony.
My Little Pony. My Little Pony. My Little Pony. So I honestly, from when I was younger, I had hand-me-down toys from my sister for it. I don't really know much about it when I was younger. I'm not going to pretend to be like a huge fan of anything from when I was younger. I had, as I say, I had a small collection of ponies of the original. My favorite, which were of the fuzzy variety. I had
fuzzy variety. What does that even mean? Did they all have hair?
No, these two were flocked.
Oh,
they were white flocked ponies, and one it was bright green hair, and one had bright pink hair. Ask me their names. I have no idea. They were
Minty, Speed, and
really.
I don't know.
Yeah. I did have a Rainbow Dash. I did not know their names though. But then as I got older,
as a media whore,
yes,
I had a My Little Pony,
which I loved learning about.
A Rainbow Dash. I'm not quite entirely sure how I got it. I know I got it at a birthday party.
Well, it was blue, so you probably thought it was a boy too.
It was for my birthday, but back when I had He-Man. I think I got it from a cousin actually. So there's a picture of me when I'm 3 or 4 with it, and He-Man is I think it's Prince Adam is riding Rainbow Dash.
That's fantastic.
So Rainbow Dash went to Eternia
ultimate
and fucked shit up.
Ultimate.
I remember that. But
ultimate 80s kid right there.
Right. It became a war pony.
That's fantastic. A Warnicorn even.
Yeah, it was a Warnicorn.
I know Rainbow Dash does not have a horn. I am well aware of that.
The bronies will now destroy our podcast.
I will never be on the side of the bronies again. The only reason I say Warnicorn was because our discussion for Star Wars: Force of Evil, and that just did not flow as planned.
You know what? Honestly, I don't even think I knew who it was. No. It was just a rainbow pony.
When we started watching the show, you're like, oh, Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. I was like, hey, wait a minute. But my He-Man wrote that.
Nice.
Why not, right?
Nice. But we started watching the new cartoon.
Yeah, I don't even know how.
I don't know how I fell into this. If it was maybe because it was Tara Strong and that helped. I can see that being what it is. But somehow I fell into the show and I just loved it. It was quirky and fun and positive and full of nice life lessons, which even as an adult woman, I think I could totally relate to. And I loved the design of them. It was a fresh take on them.
It was so simplistic.
Yeah.
They didn't look as creepy as they did in the old ones. When you see pictures of the old ones, personally myself, I see them and they're kind of nightmare-esque from the cartoon because they don't really look like horses almost.
No, they're so chubby.
Yeah.
They look like horses in the new show.
Yeah.
And the only ones that look more different are the two main princesses, right? You got Celestia.
They're more elongated.
Luna,
they're not. They don't look like little I don't want to say walruses or manatees. They look like manatees.
Really?
Yeah, the old ones.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look up a picture. And see if My Little Manatee.
My little manatee. My little
Oh, Robot Chicken. That needed to be made. But yeah, so we were still watching the show.
Maybe we need to make toys instead and we'll bring out My Little Manatees.
If you ever thought that My Little Pony was a nightmare, well, now you can have My Little Manatee nightmares. But I have the Pops. Another Funko, if you're listening, please bring out Rarity and Applejack. What the hell? Why are they not finished? They are called the main 6 for a reason. It is not the main 4. It is the main 6. What the hell?
And if you're wondering, if you're not a brony, main as in the horse's mane.
It's their group. There's 6 of them. Anyway, so Tara Strong is Twilight Sparkle.
Who does Tara Strong play and everything else, in case people don't know
who Tara Strong is?
Yeah.
Well, I would know her from the newer versions of Harley Quinn.
Batgirl in the animated series.
Exactly. So yes, she's definitely it's more of the Twilight Sparkle for sure right now.
Raven from Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go.
Yes, definitely. So she is a huge voice actress for sure. And so she's part of that. I have the pops from them. And then I have one of my favorite pops of all time is Discord. Discord is the god of chaos in My Little Pony universe, and he is a little bit of everything, and he's a 6-inch pop?
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
His head's bigger than a 6-inch pop, though.
It's awesome. Because the character himself, his head is a little funny shaped, and so I love that. But yeah, I really do like the My Little Pony show. I like the merch. I think it's silly and fun. It makes me feel like I'm a little girl who's just totally carefree and ridiculous.
Well, there's a good message in this thing.
Yeah, I think. Well, I watch it with my son, and there's it is My Little Pony. Friendship is magic, and it is very, very true. I think the whole world could stand to understand that friendship is magic, and it sounds cliche and ridiculous, but it's true. Every single time they talk about it, lack of communication, lack of understanding, lack of sympathy, and putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Yeah. That could solve the world's problems right there.
Ultimate Pony, go.
Ultimate Pony. But they're just so extreme in their versions.
Main 6. Rank them from least to favorite.
You know what? I've often wondered about trying to get like a My Little Pony tattoo and picking a few of them. And I think my favorite, though, is Pinkie Pie, because
that's changed, though, from the start.
It has. So if I'm going to choose, my top 4 would be Twilight Sparkle for her nerdism, and she reminds me the most of me.
Yeah,
because
Twilight Sparkle is
she's very much of the rules, and we get excited about office supplies and library books and, stuff like that, like hardcore nerd. Fluttershy is very shy and compassionate, and she is a little bit more of a representation of something I would like to be, which is not necessarily the shy aspect, of course, but just the more compassionate for things. And it's something I'm working towards, and I think I've come a long way on that aspect. Rarity is the other version of me. Yeah. Let's gonna be honest, a little bit more of a prissy fashion person who just thinks she's wonderful. It's my egotistical side. And Pinkie Pie is just absolutely hilarious, and that is definitely a side of something I would like to I like to emulate, is being more outgoing and more upbeat and more positive
outgoing
and just silly.
Being brash, though.
Yeah, she's outgoing without, in just a super positive, fun, everything. She sees the best in everything, every situation she's in. She has a very positive thought. She finds the silly ridiculousness in everything, and it helps her get through things. She doesn't get stuck on the horrible drama, which is, say, Rarity, who gets very much stuck in the drama. Yeah. So those would be my top 4 for sure. So
okay. Well, yeah, you don't really fit into the Applejack or the Rainbow Dash.
Like I can see their importance in the show. With the show, they represent those elements of harmony. So it's the kind of the 6 main pillars of things that people could strive to be. So they're very important elements, but I don't have the same attraction to them.
Well, it's interesting with any fiction. You find you can really just see how each character is broken down to the simplest form, where in reality people are made up of 2 or 3 of those.
Exactly. So that's why when I see that, I'm like, okay, those 4 of them are 2 things that I am and 2 things that I kind of want to emulate more, right? So.
And that's something too I see, and I don't know if it's something you agree with, but in a lot of fiction that we watch or read, we're never really drawn solely to the characters that we are.
Exactly. It's more ones we want to be. Exactly.
Right. And exactly for me, like when I look at like Turtles, I would love to be more like Donatello. Yeah. More tech savvy, more useful when it comes to that. But I'm Raphael.
You're a mix between Raph and Mikey.
It's the fist first,
get shit done.
Yeah. But and so that's why everyone's like, oh, you don't like Raphael. Well, it's because it's me. It's that idea of
we read that stuff and we have fandoms not to reflect our real world, but to find something. It's in a form of escapism. Yeah. We read that to feel like we're experiencing something different. Back on the My Little Pony too. What I love the show, but my favorite medium to enjoy that is graphic novels. The My Little Pony graphic novels are hilarious.
Yeah. You lose it on those.
I mean, those are always my favorite thing to read, no matter what the story is, because there's so many nods and Easter eggs for different things. Like, okay, tie it to the Little Mermaid, the Disney princess. I actually saw it on my Instagram feed when I was looking at it the other day. There was a random Pinkie Pie in a My Little Pony rock splashing moment in the back of the panel. It was like a background thing, and she was just pretending to be Ariel splashing up on the rock. And I was like, Mike, you have to see this.
Oh, yeah, you run all the time. Sometimes it's amazing to see all the little Easter eggs that they've hidden that.
Because you have to look in the background for everything. I remember one, they were at some fair and you had to read every single sign for things. There was a Rocky Horror Picture Show cover on one of those. That was the greatest thing. I'm a huge Rocky Horror fan. And to see that mixed with My Little Pony was so inappropriate and hilarious. It was just... I can't explain how excited that made me. So, but anyways, the graphic novel is hilarious. So I have that in collection. There's so many of them, but major collection for that. So
yeah, I know that's one book that I can always know to try to get you, because I know that it's such a predominant thing for you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, so we'll move from My Little Pony.
Okay.
Harley Quinn.
So Harley Quinn, again, I don't really know when it would have started, because I really only started knowing more about the Batman animated and learning more about that history when I met you. But a lot of that came from the comics as well. I remember I started collecting some of those single issue comics, and I really loved the style, the design, the Terry Dodson covers.
Yeah, you're a huge fan of the classic gesture.
Yes, very much so. I can accept the current version for sure, but I love the classic one. I think her story is interesting. When I was in high school, I really enjoyed psychology. For a while, I wanted to be a psychiatrist. I love that idea. I think it's really interesting. Her story of being the psychiatrist and falling for her patient and getting caught up in that twisted aspect seemed almost completely real to me, and it's an extreme version of it. So never doubting the seriousness of it and that it was not okay.
What, you don't believe that mad love is true and we all should embrace it and enjoy the abuse and the...
We have our own version of mad love, don't we, darling? No. You find your own definition for it, but no, we should not deal with the abuse and the horrific things.
Come on, Puddin'.
But that's one thing that I liked as it got farther in. Like Gotham City Sirens was fantastic, but I kind of think the character has lost a bit without having that connection to Joker. I think they decided that she needed to be too independent. And myself, I feel like the character's gotten a little boring. If I read some of the new comics,
it's become too Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't want it to be so stuck on the Joker and so connected, but the character has morphed into something so different, and I'm not a huge fan of that, I think. So I like much more of the original, but I have a massive Harley Quinn pop rock candy collection. I think
pop and rock candy.
I think every single one they've brought out of them that I could get a hold of. I wholeheartedly embraced the Suicide Squad as well, because it was just like, it's Harley Quinn on screen. We'll deal with whatever happens.
But she wasn't the problem of the movie.
Oh no, so I'm still happy. I have a whole outfit. We've done Joker and Harley as Halloween before. I did an Arkham Asylum with the Jester hat, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. I like the mad love aspect of it, because knowing the Joker is horrible and evil, and their relationship was definitely tainted and not healthy whatsoever. But again, if I look at it as pure entertainment, and it's a weird sort of something I don't want in real life, but I can read about it and imagine possibly the interesting good aspects that could come out of it, and just accept it for what it is. And
well, what the animated series did with Harley and Joker was fantastic, because it showed the duality of the relationship without romanticizing it to the point of being grotesque.
Yes. Well, and it showed though that, and I think that was almost interesting, even with the Suicide Squad, they showed how much Joker was conflicted with needing her as well, and it was that the codependency on things, and you know what, honestly, we should learn that it's not healthy, but we also need to learn that it exists. Yeah. Because how can you recognize something if you don't even know what it is?
That's very true.
So how can you learn about a codependent, unhealthy relationship if you've never even seen one? Well, I would much rather see it in a fictional setting and say, like, whoa, this is not okay for to be like this, rather than, shit, I just spent 5 years living in this relationship. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I've seen it in real life with people I've been close to, and it's ugly. It's sad to see. I don't want people to experience it, but if I can see someone else experiencing it and I can learn from it and just find a pure entertainment because it's completely fictional, then why not just enjoy it?
That's why fiction is created too. We can do the deepest, darkest things that we've ever wanted in a piece of fiction.
Right, and without having to worry about the real consequences of it. So, and I understand that it can be a concern of parents, for kids, kind of romanticizing it. As the older I get irritated with the people who I can clearly see romanticizing their relationship. And me and Mike have done our fair share of Harley and Joker aspect, and we can joke about that ourselves. But I know that we are not actually Harley Quinn and Joker relationship, so I feel comfortable in that. But as a teenager, you shouldn't be feeling like you need to just bow down and do everything they say.
Yeah.
And so that is, again, back to our theme now, apparently, of our serious nature, that parents need to take responsibility to teach their children about relationships and anything about life like that, and not depend on the comics. Anyways.
From that, though, you realize that you do really, that whole sirens aspect. You like the bad girls when it comes to DC.
I love Catwoman and
Brucker
Poison Ivy.
And Darren Cook.
Oh, yes. Gorgeous. I like Poison Ivy. I really always liked her character. The idea of controlling plants when plants are all over the world is very powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, you have one of the most abundant resources at your disposal. It's a pretty huge thing. And then with the Gotham City Sirens, I thought it was a super fun team up with them. Catwoman is just super sexy. Yeah. And I always thought that was a cool outfit, cool character. She's very confident.
But the outfit that you like is, do you like what Anne Hathaway looked like?
No, what the hell was that? The Brubaker, you just said.
I'm just saying. For those that don't know, this is all about breaking it down so we get the deepest insights to your psyche on your characters.
Yes. You know what, honestly, I had to say it again. I haven't looked at those comics. We have all the single issue comics for that run. I was very sad when they decided to let go of that, the Gotham City Sirens there, but I do have a lot of Catwoman ones as well. But I like just the basic black suit with the goggles and the short black hair, and I like the more of the combat style boots, not so much of the heels. It makes more sense.
Because she's supposed to be a thief, right?
She's a thief, first off. Who do anyone wear high heels know how much noise they make? Oh my gosh. I walk across the office in my heels. Everyone knows I'm coming.
Oh yeah,
they are not quiet. It is the pay attention to me.
Yep.
You do not wear those if you're trying to be a burglar. What in the heck? Anyway, so I said that I didn't really like how Harley was coming away from Joker, and a lot of that with Gotham City Sirens was her breaking away from Joker and finding some solace with that. And I was hoping for her to be a little bit more of dealing with coming out of that hold of that relationship, but still having a connection to it. So if they had just kind of stopped where they were there, it would have been better, but then they pushed it too far and got her away from it, right? Yeah. So, but yes, definitely the bad girls of DC for sure are a big thing for me. So.
Okay. Wonder Woman.
Yes. On the other flip side of that is the ultimate good girl on DC there. Another thing with that is the idea of inspired by someone, right? If you were to ask me someone who inspires me, it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
All women could aspire to be like her. She is her very own person. She's very strong mentally, physically, emotionally. She wants to stand up for everyone in the best way possible, the true justice in strength of heart, strength of character, and of course physical strength as well. Who wouldn't want to be like that? So I've always really admired that, and it comes out of my absolute love of Greek mythology. Yeah. I love Greek mythology, and so when I see her stories that are ingrained in the actual mythos, I think that's fantastic.
One of your favorite runs
the Greg Rucka run was
the original run.
The original Greg Rucka run with Circe. That was more of my introduction into reading her in the graphic novel form, and that is just... it has Medusa in it. It's just, I love the style. I love the story. It was Greek mythology. It wasn't her dealing just in the real world or being Diana Prince or anything of that nature. It was her dealing with Greek enemies. Yeah. and that had the gods in it, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, because once it got into like the Maxwell Lord,
it gets a little convoluted with that. Yeah, I like the built more in the mythology.
Yeah, when the New 52 started, you enjoyed that.
I did. I enjoyed the first runs with that because again, it had the gods in it, a different version of them. Yeah. But I loved the new Hades that was in there. Hades was creepy. Guy, right? The little boy with the candles. I love the designs. Ares was. I love the old school. Like warrior Ares that was in the Grey Greco one. Mm-hmm. I have a figure of that, and I love that. But the Ares in the new 52 was really interesting. Just the downtrodden old man with ripped clothes. Right. It was a completely different take on it.
Well, that's what they tried to do in the movie.
Yeah, and I liked that design. I liked the different gods in it. Yeah. The connection with the Greek mythology was fun. I think if they take the gods away from it, and I think that was part of my problem where the movie did fail me. Mm-hmm. Was that you had one connection to the gods, and it was very, very tenuous. It was like everyone else is gone. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. And it makes me sad to see that. And I'm trying to be accepting and understanding that it's a big thing to try to explain in a movie, but still at the same time
just aren't okay with it.
Yeah, so I have a bit of a hard time. They can understand the Amazons and accept this giant group of mythical women that live on an island that's hidden, but hey, we're going to add in the other gods, but whatever. But again, with Wonder Woman, just like Harley Quinn, I have all the rock candy, I have all the pops, I have all the versions of pops, I have action figures of her as well, I have Barbies, I have all of that. So
sometimes it makes my collection not look that big.
Oh, no. When we, as I'm going to say now, dive into you, Mike.
You're diving into me. I don't know if
then we can revisit
that.
your shrine downstairs of your passions there. So yeah.
No. Is there? So, what are your thoughts on the movie version of Wonder Woman?
You know what? When my first instinct is I enjoy the style. I was accepting of her design and the character. I have lots of merch from it, and I still really like the look. Overall, I'm still really happy with it. As a Wonder Woman fan, I'm still really happy with it. Yeah. I liked her training, seeing her grow up, seeing her get to use some of her powers. I liked the costume design. I liked the sword. I liked the lasso. I liked they had her key features down, which was great. I'm cool that they did not bring in the invisible jet because I think that's ridiculous.
But I think it's coming in the next one.
Of course it is. We'll see. Never been my favorite, but that's again with my age. It was never really a thing when I was reading with my books. I was reading this from so long ago, right? Yeah. But overall, I did enjoy it. I'm interested to see, though, if they can bring in some of... I would have liked to see more of the mythology, right? And that was where it was downfall. I thought it was a cool twist with Ares, but it was kind of... The design of him was absolute shit in my mind because it could have taken on one of the more iconic versions of it. They had plenty to choose from. Even if you choose something outside of Wonder Woman, you could choose something based in actual mythology. Yeah. That would have been cool. And I know that the god is supposed to change. It could have been better for sure. I did not like how much romance was in it, though. I didn't like how she was so stuck on Trevor because it needs to have connection to it and show for compassion and a connection to humanity, but it was overdone with the connection to it. So that's where it felt for me a bit. So
my biggest thing with the movie was how much explosive energy that was going to say. That was always my biggest. The effects, especially at the end. That's DC's thing. There's always giant explosion-y energy blasts.
Well, and see, I would have liked
single movie
in her history, right, all of the pieces that she has are supposed to be blessed by the gods, right? So she has a reasoning for all of them. She should have more of that support from the gods, and I think that was missing, and she didn't need to have so much of that connection. And that was a newer version of them making her a daughter of Zeus that was in the graphic novel and everything, but it was kind of a weird twist for it for sure. So, but overall, I still really enjoyed it. Yeah. I won't really complain. I mean, there's been other characters that have been treated worse on screen. So
that's true. So, okay, so we Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, the ponies.
And the princesses. And then we're saving Wizarding World for a whole other episode.
Yeah. So let's speed round a little bit more, though.
Okay, speed round.
There's going to be some things that maybe...
I'm terrified.
Off script. Okay, books.
Like graphic, like novels or anything like that.
Yeah.
I collect everything by Michael Crichton. Jurassic Park was my first real novel that I read. And then, ironically enough, the only Stephen King book I've ever read was Firestarter, and that was one of my first novels I read too. But Patricia Cornwell Scarpetta series, I collect those. I'm currently reading a book called Zeus is Dead, Monstrously Inconvenient Adventure, which is about Zeus being killed actually, and trying to figure that out. Christopher Moore is another one I love. The sarcasm and the witty humor in that is hilarious. One of my favorite books from him is Lamb. That one, you can have a philosophy conversation with that. Yeah. So,
I know how much you like Christopher Moore. You like those ones. Yeah. So to go back to Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Who do you have an unhealthy obsession with? Almost
someone who everyone seems to have an unhealthy obsession with now. Apparently, I thought he was obsessed. I was all obsessed with him before. It was cool to be obsessed with Malcolm because he's awesome.
Jeff Goldblum. Dr. Ian Malcolm.
No. It's Ian Malcolm, not Jeff Goldblum. It's Ian Malcolm that I had the obsession with because I loved Ian Malcolm from the novel because he was the cool, pain in the ass scientist who just went off about chaos theory all the time. And it was great. So then I loved Jeff Goldblum's version of him, though. He was so charismatic and hilarious. And his lovely little pop of him laying over.
I'm injured and bloody, but I've got my shirt open and I'm so sexy.
Sexy Jeff Goldblum.
But you also have the regular version.
I have the regular because I didn't think I could get the sassy bleeding one. So now I have two versions of him.
And then you've got him from Independence Day.
Yes, because Jeff Goldblum okay, never mind. I do love Jeff Goldblum. I love him in Independence Day. Absolutely love him in Independence Day. There you go.
You never got him from Ragnarok, which I was surprised.
No, because
it was the exclusive.
You know what? His character was funny.
Yeah.
But he wasn't sexy like he was in Independence Day and Jurassic Park. He was
awkwardly sexy.
He was awkward and really overtly sexual in a weird
Nothing like having to explain to you, trying to divert what an orgy is. Yeah.
What is that?
That's probably
a really adult birthday party.
Yeah.
He's gonna get older and be like, I want an orgy. When do I get my orgy? You're like, books. Let's see. That's my main characters I read. You know what? Actually, one series that I really enjoy I think it's a teen series, but Through the Looking Glass but it's a 3-book series and it's a different version of Alice in Wonderland, and it's everything you know about Alice in Wonderland thrown out the window except for some of the characters, and it's all within Wonderland, and it's a functioning society that she's in. It's not a human that goes into some mystical place, and it was just a completely different fun take on it, and I really enjoyed it.
Like Alice in Wonderland in general. You like the movie, the Disney stuff, but you also really like the Grimm's Fairy Tale one.
I love the Grimm's Fairy Tale. I do have that collection there.
The Xenoscope one.
Yeah, super hardcore and edgy and adult. Things that Mike has pointed out that our son, you can't look at your mom's graphic novels, you can look at mine. But yeah, so I really do like that series for sure. So Pirates
in general.
Yes,
you were an incredible pirate nerd, and you had been for years.
Yes. Well, okay, you proposed to me with a pirate map.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
I still have it. I love it. It's a treasure map that led me through the house in all these wonderful places. And it was a pirate treasure map. It was fantastic.
And I was a treasure.
Yep. I got that treasure. It was fantastic. Anyways, pirates. Love pirates. Love pirates.
Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Talk Like a Pirate Day.
When is Talk Like a Pirate
Day? September 19th.
How long have you been celebrating this?
Since, let's see, I was in high school when it first started showing up. 2001?
Yeah,
I think was the first time around, and it was just a very underground new thing where September 19th was International Talk Like a Pirate Day, and I decided that I needed to to share this with the school, and I made little foam buttons of the logo. Mm-hmm. I cannot believe I actually went through all of this. I made little foam buttons and, glued the piece of paper with the little pirate logo on it. Happy International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Put the little buttons on the back, and I passed them out to all of my friends, and I spread that word. And then I brought it along with me with my boss, my current company there, and he actually wishes me Happy Talk Like a Pirate Day half the time before I even get to him talking about it. We've had many Talk Like a Pirate Day celebrations, very drunken ones.
Yep. Think of every time they say pirate in Pirates of the Caribbean, take a shot
of rum.
Or whatever hard liquor.
And then you run through the rum. Why is all the rum gone? And you find other alcohol. Yeah. It leads to a real fast...
Don't mix it with fish and chips.
Oh, yeah. So we have learned we do not celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day like that anymore.
No. But luckily, being that we're vegan, we don't have fish anymore.
There is that. True. We are good with that.
Just the chips.
Just the chips. Lots and lots. But yes, definitely a pirate fan.
It's time for you to give us your best pirate imitation.
Oh, no. I don't voice.
It's time to talk like a pirate.
Time to.
No, you gotta give people the people wanted this. The people wanted this.
What was that? Oh, I don't know. That was horrible.
And scene.
And
3, 2, 1.
Arrgh.
And there you have it, mateys. It wasn't really talking like a pirate. It was a pirate taking a dump.
Thank you for making me feel even worse. You know what? He knows. He is Mr. Voice Actor. I had a hard time doing this, and yet he puts me on the spot. Here, Mike, please talk like a pirate for me.
Avast scurves and weigh anchor before we cut and bludgeon the bitches and haul them. I don't know what I just said.
Should have been winches and lost it. It could be bitches too. True.
I'm going for that hard R.
Hard R. One of our first Halloweens that we did was pirates, actually.
Yeah, we did a pirate.
You were a pretty awesome pirate. I was a wench. I spent so much money on costume jewelry. I remember I took my sister and I was like, I need to buy costume jewelry because we always made our costumes. We never bought anything from the Halloween stores. So I bought real jewelry and belts and like gypsy looking things, and I was just bedazzled with jewelry, and I spent so much more money than I should have, but it was epic. It was epic.
Favorite ride at Disneyland-ish?
Pirates of the Caribbean is definitely
one of the
most magical rides for me. The smell of Pirates of the Caribbean is just...
fog machine and dry ice.
It's fantastic. It's nothing like it. So yeah, because we go through there and we sing the song, and... Yo-ho, a pirate's life for me. We've got our son at least enjoying it and trying to sing and being ridiculous, and
you love the movie.
Yes, definitely. Movies. Curse of the Black Pearl was amazing.
Yeah.
Just there was so many nods to the ride. Johnny Depp was absolutely fantastic as Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
I mean, humor, and he was just such a wonderful character they developed. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, let's go over to movies.
Okay.
We're getting into movies.
What kind of movies?
Comedy. Let's go that.
Comedy.
Bang out 5 comedy movies that you love.
Oh my goodness. This is too intense.
I told you we were getting deep inside of you.
Hot seat.
The seat is hot.
Comedies. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That is one of my absolute favorites. And
was that a bird that just flew by?
It was a bird right in your face. But Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That I loved. I used to share that with my friends in high school there. And Mike's not a huge fan of Monty Python. It's definitely more of my thing, but I know he appreciates it still. But I
never grew up. It wasn't anything that was in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, you know what? I had a weird British phase in high school. We loved Absolutely Fabulous.
Well, I think most people
that was absolutely fabulous. How else can I say that? Yeah. It was amazing, but it was just the perfect timing for that. It was hilarious. But yeah, Monty Python is great. I can't wait till I can actually show my son, but I know he will never laugh as hard as I want him to. So it is.
We just don't hype it.
No, but I mean, I could say every single word from that movie, and I am hysterical with it. So that one is great. I have a hard time Mike knows that this is something that is so horrible for me. If I could go and grab my comedy DVD bin, I could have some references for things, but I can talk and talk and talk once I'm given the subject, but recalling things like this is difficult for me.
Okay, well, here. Because
so you know which ones I like, and I can talk about them.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. It's party time. Excellent. They're bringing out Wayne's World Pops. I'm very excited. I love Wayne's World. I love Wayne's World before I knew that it was an SNL skit.
There you go.
Because I remember when I got older and I learned about all these things that actually came out of SNL, and I was just blown away. I was like, what are you talking about? These are not just original movies? Like, even Night at the Roxbury and all of them, I thought that was hilarious that I had no idea that they were based out of SNL. But yeah, Wayne's World, that was one of the ones I grew up on. So I'm having a harder time because we've added so much as I've gotten older, and I tend to forget about some of those ones that I don't watch as much, anymore. So Seth Rogen ones are quite funny.
Yeah, I know you really like the Neighbors series.
Yeah, I like that because Zac Efron's hilarious. You know what?
Hilarious. Okay. I buy his abs.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to deny that he is gorgeous. I can't say it because anyone who says Zac Efron is not gorgeous,
I'm not saying he is not. I'm just saying
he is a good-looking man, but he is hilarious as an actor. I think he is awesome. Young Frankenstein.
There we go.
Spaceballs.
There
we go. Those are some things that I grew up with there.
Yeah.
You cannot sit
Princess
down.
Bride.
Well, yeah, I don't think of that as it's more of a romance, but I guess there is comedy. Those you cannot sit with my family in a room without hearing a quote from one of those movies.
So if you don't want to hear a quote from those movies, do not bring any of those movies up. Word to the wise. It's a break glass moment.
It's hilarious. I mean, it's like part of our like family history now. I can actually hear my family saying it. It's adorable. But yes, Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein are just absolute favorites from my childhood for sure. So
you don't really read a lot of Marvel comics. I know that.
I'm definitely DC. I like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But that's really the only Marvel one I read. I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I find interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
But you like the movies.
Yeah, I do. I really like those, but I've never really gotten into the I like some of the characters, the X-Men characters.
Yeah.
I really do like them, but finding them in reading in a graphic novel form or comics or anything is a little bit more difficult for me because it's all the characters all together.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely more of a DC fan for sure. So.
With the Marvel movies, do you have a top few?
Top few of them. Thor Ragnarok, I really enjoyed that one. Guardians of the Galaxy, I really enjoyed the humor in that one as well. I really enjoyed Black Panther. I like the differences with that. Even way back, the original Iron Man, we rewatched the Marvel movies from the very beginning through viewing order before Infinity War there. Yeah. And I was surprised on how much I really had enjoyed Iron Man. It had been so long and it kind of gets muddled with there's something newer and better, and it was still really good for what it was, as a breakout for something.
Wait, so. I know that you're as much as froze on the comedy aspect, but the comedy is what really grabs you, and I know that's why you like Ragnarok.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie, Led Zeppelin is one of the best bands in the whole history of everything. So the fact that they were able to use them in it, that was a huge. I mean, I would have loved the movie regardless, but like that was goosebump. That was goosebump worthy. Like I still get goosebumps when I watch the scenes and have the. It's just I'm blown away in awe. That's music is a huge part of me, and if I can tie the music into watching some sort of scene, I have a very very physical emotional response to something, and that was, I think, Ragnarok was such a huge part of it right there. Yeah. And Loki, I love Loki in the cinematic universe. Well, you got
the wallet too.
Yes,
the Loungefly wallet.
Yeah, I have that. I have the Black Panther Loungefly purse, and we Guardians of the Galaxy for sure has been a big part of our whole family history. Experience with that.
Star Wars.
What about Star Wars? I am definitely a Star Wars. It's the I know it's kind of an age-old question. Star Wars or Star Trek? I don't find anything wrong with Star Trek. I don't know anything about Star Trek other than the new stuff, which is ironic actually how much I found my dad really does like Star Trek, and apparently my sister is also quite a Star Trek nerd, but I don't know because she's older than me if maybe that just part of it was the generation aspect. Star Wars,
the gap.
Star Wars was a bigger thing because of the new ones that was brought out as well, and so it's just been a lot more involved in my generation than before. So I'm definitely a Star Wars kid for sure. So one of my favorites was Return of the Jedi.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I love that because I love Luke in it. I like that he is a Jedi, and I know Mike loves Ewoks.
Hey, Chihuahua.
So I really like Return of the Jedi. That was always my favorite. The first scene there with all Jabba's palace and everything. That's probably my favorite Star Wars.
The scene for me in Return of the Jedi has to be the end there where Luke and Vader are fighting, and it's more black, and you just see the lightsaber.
Yes,
and
that
the
whole
music
scene,
that plays over that. I think that's epic. One of the best scenes in Star Wars.
I agree.
All of them so far.
Yeah.
So, do you have any favorite characters out of them?
You know what? I've always liked the main three.
Main three? What are the main three?
Well, Han, Luke, and Leia. Let's go with that.
Chewbacca?
Nothing but love for Chewbacca.
He's been in more movies than Han Solo.
That is true. He has. Chewbacca is really epic, actually. I think the way they have treated him every time you get to see him, and just the Wookiee race in general, I think has been pretty awesome. I like Yoda. I always liked him. From the original, I thought he was ridiculous and silly though, because he was barely in it. But that was one of the things I really liked from the prequels was seeing him all powerful. I think it was hilarious how much he would flip around. Like, it's hilarious to think
Ninja
about.
Mode.
You only saw him as crotchety, and now you got to see him literally bouncing off the walls, and it was hilarious. So I always really liked that. I like Ewan McGregor, so I liked Obi-Wan, his version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. But more recently, we really like Star Wars Rebels, so I'm really liking that. I different types of characters with those. I always liked Leia just because she was such a strong female presence. She definitely wanted to take care of herself, but she had that same roughness that anyone who wants, who's put in a position where they just need to take care of business is in. And I like between the relationship with her and Han and how they have to learn to try to accept one another to help each other out. I mean, which of course we find out later that it didn't really work out too great in the end, but they do still love each other and they understand that they needed each other. So, but I've never really thought I don't have one major character that I really like, but I really enjoy Yoda for sure. I think so.
With that, what are your feelings on the latest treatment of Star Wars?
I liked the episodes, but I'm liking the stories Rogue One and Solo more than the episodes. I'm really surprised on how much I really enjoyed those outside pieces. Force Awakens I enjoyed more than The Last Jedi, but I think reading reviews and knowing what people's thoughts are, I enjoyed The Last Jedi a lot more than a lot of people did. I don't have any hate towards it. I think it could have been better, but I think, we need to just be patient and see where the story's going.
It's part 2 of 3.
Yeah. I know that with Carrie Fisher passing, I think that put an upheaval in some things. Yeah. That it caused an issue where I think they maybe should have handled it a little bit differently in the movie with the character itself. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm interested to see the next run around and see what happens.
But you're not angry.
I'm not angry. I think nothing but awesomeness for everything that Luke was.
You're still excited.
I'm still very excited for it. So, you know what? I'm still definitely a Star Wars fan, and I would not be bad-mouthing it. No hate or anger or anything. So, nothing but love for it. Action movies. Yeah. I have my own little basket of action movies that are Katie's action movies. Most of them are Tom Cruise movies.
There you go.
I have found, apparently I'm a massive Tom Cruise fan.
You're a Mission Impossible fan.
I know, but no, I really like Tom Cruise. I really do.
Yeah.
I do. But it's mostly Mission Impossible, let's be honest.
The last one was fantastic.
Yeah. I like the Mission Impossible style. The kind of the mystery and the action with that spy film. I like that type of thing. So, and then of course I have my romantic comedies, my Katie's girl movies, things that I grew up, Dirty Dancing, Grease. Fool's Gold is actually one of my most favorite romantic comedies. I can watch that movie over and over and over again.
Right. So we're really getting deep inside of you.
Yes.
We're getting so deep. I'm
sharing with the world. This is like unprecedented.
Deep cuts. Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh, and then we said earlier, Rocky Horror Picture.
Yes.
Everyone should learn how to do the time warp again and again. I love you that you could say that.
Honorable mention.
I will make Mike dress up like Frankenfurter one day in my life, and it will be fantastic.
I'm gonna have to get ripped.
No, he's not ripped.
No, my Frankenfurter will have to be ripped.
I'm not asking you to be Rocky.
But honorable mention that wasn't part of the original Disney conversation. I realized. Okay. because technically she isn't a princess. But what is your all-time favorite Disney animated film in reality when it comes down to it? It's not The Little Mermaid as much as it is princess-wise.
Hercules?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I had a moment, like, I think I love so many of them. But Hades is my all-time favorite Disney villain.
Yeah.
And again, because of my absolute love of Greek mythology, I love that movie. It has all the Greek gods in it, and I love Meg. She is absolutely wonderful. All the different characters and the creatures and Pegasus and...
The Hydra battle in that is fantastic.
It is amazing. It's terrifying. When they all stand up straight, and there's like 100 hands right there. It looks like some weird, like, creepy organ type thing, because the music and everything, oh, it's epic. But yeah, Hades is my all-time favorite villain. Do you remember when I met Hades at the Halloween party at Disneyland?
Yes, when we went to Disneyland. Here's the story. Right at Disneyland's the front on Main Street. They had all the villains out, and Hades showed up, and Katie just started bouncing, hands on her face, gleefully squealing. And the cast member there was like, I don't think I've ever seen someone so excited to meet Hades before. And she was genuine. It wasn't like oh, look, another Hades fan. It was like, oh my God, this is weird. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was super excited for that.
I have 2 moments of Disney Halloween parties with Katie looking extremely crazily happy. One was with Hades, and the other was
with giant teapots.
I was at Disney World.
Yep.
And you
I have my pirate Mickey bandana on.
Yeah.
And my Pirates Life for Me, Pirates of the Caribbean shirt. Yeah. With my golden stash, which suddenly made me a pirate.
Yeah. Well, we weren't planning on going to the Halloween party.
No, so
and
it was
we
like
were there, and they were like, "Oh, we have the Halloween party on." And we're like,
"Okay." So yeah, this the trail of Alice in Wonderland, and there was giant teapots, and I look absolutely crazy. This is just a wonderful picture of me.
Yeah, you look.
And I'm all like, I'm tired, and I'm like, high on sugar and candy and giant teapots of magical variety. But the Hades meeting was just
like that,
a wonderful topping.
But yeah, Hercules I think is probably one that you when the pops came out of those, you just lost it.
I have Hercules riding Pegasus, and it's beautiful. I was very sad. Hot Topic had brought out a Megara dress that I really, really wanted, but it never showed up in stores, and
it was only online.
Was afraid it would be super junior size and be a crop top on me, so we never did get that. But I would love to have a Meg dress. I love that movie.
Nice. Okay, so I've gotten you to watch horror movies recently.
Yes.
So just a quick, because we're doing everything. We're going everywhere with this.
We are, apparently.
It's going to be just so much Katie. We're in there.
Yeah.
We're in that big old brain, picking at it with an ice pick.
Okay, so horror movies. Yes, I finally let go of my feel like I need to be terrified of them and just...
Yes, for years I tried to get her to watch horror movies with me because horror is a passion of mine. And
the most I had watched was like Evil Dead, because it was like, what the hell? Of course I have to watch it. My boyfriend likes Evil Dead. It was, what the hell is this?
But Evil Dead is amazing.
It is, and now I can honestly say that.
Right, but...
Well, Mike's decided I need to be a Deadite for Halloween one year, and it'll be fantastic.
Yes, that's what I want to see. I want to play Ash, and you can be a Deadite, and you can just go, you're all going to die.
Yep, and I can just torment him. Anyways, you were trying to say something.
But it took forever to get her to watch them. But now that you have begun watching, we've stuck to mainly the more traditional, I don't want to say more popular. I haven't got you to watch a lot of deeper cuts.
No, some of the newer stuff. So,
what are some of the ones that you do enjoy?
I really enjoy the Conjuring series. I think that is my absolute favorite. Anything to do with James Wan's that little world that he's made. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Both versions of it, actually, I've enjoyed. But
let's set this up. When we were at Toy Traders, we'd already gotten the modern It, and I was okay with just sticking with that one. All of a sudden, Katie comes up and says, they have the Tim Curry It.
But it's Tim Curry.
And she was so happy. And we had some other things in our basket we were going to buy, and she was like, no, I'm putting this away so I can get the Tim Curry It.
Yeah.
And then you should put some pops away.
It comes with balloons, and it's just this giant bright clown, and it's just awesome. So I needed that for sure.
That's on our NECA shelf with all the other monsters, and that was almost a proud moment there for me.
But I love the Conjuring stuff. I like that type of that type of feel for sure. So.
Yeah. You do enjoy The Evil Dead, though, because you really liked watching the show with me.
Yeah, and I mean, well, from our last episode, I really enjoyed the new Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, I like Freddy Krueger. I think he is weird and bizarre and hilarious.
I always thought Freddy is like if they ever did more of even though Beetlejuice was technically rated R, but now it's a family movie.
It's a whole nother issue to deal with.
But Freddy reminds me of what Beetlejuice could have been in a sequel if they had just gone the horror route, almost. If he just was allowed to torment the people in the house.
Well, yeah, if you think what he does when he does torment them in the house, if they just keep going further with that, that's exactly what he would be.
And that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
So those are your cuts.
Yes.
And I know that you like The Nun and all those, so that's...
So I think I have it's a weird idea, but I think I like the demon aspect, and for someone
Possession.
who's, not truly religious, I think it's really interesting. I like the idea behind that. That seems to really gravitate towards me.
You're not a big slasher fan per se.
And I'm not any of as much as I like psychology, as I mentioned earlier, like the first Saw was interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not something I really need to see over and over again, But as we keep working through them then, so find new things. So
well, hopefully
have you gotten deep enough inside of me?
I'm hoping that I'll be able to get you to watch some other ones. I'm hoping to get you to watch some Eli Roth ones a little later.
Ah, okay.
To really see push it, but
push it real good.
But
anyways.
I think we have gotten really deep, and we've gotten,
at least for right now, I'm sure we can find something else we can share
inside of you.
Because I can even talk about music at some point too. We can do a whole thing of that sometime later.
Oh,
maybe we can ask a poll about that if people even care. Who knows?
Well, we'll find out.
Or maybe you'll just have to enjoy it. Yeah. He's giving me free reign. I've gotten too cocky. Wind it down.
Roll that back. Roll it back. Yeah. So we've gotten really deep, and we've really went full on inside of you tonight. And how was that for you?
You know what? I'm doing okay right now.
You feeling free?
Kind of enjoyed the experience.
It was all on you. It was
a little rough to take at first, but
it was. Everything was there, right? So there we have it. It's another action-packed episode of Cup of Rad, where you, the viewer, got to help shape this episode. You asked for it. You asked for us to really find out who she was.
I hope you enjoyed.
And, let us know what you think. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
We got some things coming up, especially with Fantastic Beasts. So
the next one will definitely be Wands Out.
Yeah. I would like having my wand out.
So thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed my experience
deep inside of you,
into my psyche, and everyone take care.
Have a great day.
Thank you for listening. Love this episode of Cup of Rad? Please subscribe, rate us, and give us a review. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more rad content.